Hi guys, Paul here again. I want to give you a quick video on what to do on match day and how to do the scoring. Now I know we've mentioned a downloadable app from the App Store that will be coming very soon, just a bit of back and forth with Apple at the moment, but this can all be done from the web app, which is what you've been logging into now, your dashboard. So just log in on your phone and this is the view that you'll see on there. I'm doing it on my computer because it's easier, and with the scoring, both teams need to do it. So I'm doing the scoring on my phone. So here we go. Log into your dashboard. You would have already entered your match details once you've scheduled your match, and I hope most of you have done that already with your opponents, or at least started the conversation. And you click on View Match. So we've already done this part. We've got our opponent's contact details there. We've scheduled the match. And then what we're doing is going down to match day details. Sorry, these will be unchecked. So I've already submitted, both teams need to do this, and that's what this says. One teammate from each team needs to do the scoring on the day. So pick a captain for the day or a scorer for the day. Just one of you need to do it. Communicate with the other team when you arrive about who's playing and exactly what their handicaps are. Just confirm it. So this has 3 team members because I've added a reserve of Paul. So when you click on who's playing, and if Dave was unavailable today and Paul was playing, you would select Paul and it shows their handicaps, and speak to your other team. It's only John and Mike. Confirm it's John and Mike, and just double check that's their handicaps, because it doesn't update even though you've provided your golf link number. That is for your opponents to be able to look it up on golf.org if they want to. But please confirm, because if you've played a match after you've entered your handicap in your profile, your handicaps may have been adjusted. So just double check. Ask your opponent to show their geo handicap if you want to double check it. So everyone should have that available. So I'm going to go with Dave because I have made one of these two a female, just so I can show you how that works with the T selection as well. Also, if your handicaps are different to what you've originally put in, you don't need to go and update your profile for now. What you can do is, I'm just going to say, right, Dave had a great round and now his handicap's changed to 5.5. So you can just change it there, and that's going to change it on match day. Okay, then we go down to T selection. What hole are you starting from? Hole 1. Obviously you can choose any hole if you're doing a shotgun start, or you're starting from hole 10. And then down here, if there's a female playing, it will have men's and women's T color. So for the men, I'm going to choose blue. For the women, they can play off the reds. You can play off whatever you like, and don't worry, your handicaps will adjust. So we have entered the par, scratch and slope ratings for most tees. If for some reason the tee is not selected here, what you can do is enter it manually. If you find its tee's not in there, go into the pro shop, speak to the pro shop about, look, we're playing off the orange tees. Can you please tell us what the scratch and slope ratings are, and the par? So you type in orange, the pro shop will tell you par 72, scratch rating 71, and the slope is 125, for example. Women are playing off the yellows. They're also not listed. Par 70, scratch 71, and a slope of 126. Add tees to the drop down. So what that will do is add the tees now to the drop down. That will then be available for any other person who plays, and you can choose from there. But for now, because the other team's already entered the details, I'm just going to go with blue and red. But that's how you enter them manually if for some reason your tee is not listed. And then we start the match. Now, if that mismatches with what the opponents have selected, it will show you, and you just need to speak to them and say, hey, we've got a mismatch. Can we please check what's different? So now we're into the scoring part. So as you can see, it's, we've done a similar to sort of my score as we can, where you enter the scores. And here you've got to enter who had the tee shot. So as you know, you've got to hit 8 tee shots each from the 18 holes. So you put the score in, and then you select whose tee shot was used for that hole. Submit scores. If scores are submitted, but that's not going to do anything. It's not going to move on until your opponents have matched the exact same score. So just make sure you're putting the score in after every hole. I'm just submitting on the phone gives you a little tick, scores confirmed, and they match, and then you can continue to the next hole. And that will show 1 up or 1 down. So that'll give you the match score as you progress. I'll give you an example of what happens if there's a mismatch. And on the phone, I've done John and Dave for tee shots. So I'm going to submit that and we'll see what happens. Scores mismatch, the Golfies Legends tee shot selection, review and fix. So if you ever see that, review and fix, go have a chat to your opponents and say, hey, we've got a mismatch. Let's just double check the scores we've put in. Oh, we put John there. Okay, submit. It was John's drive we used, and then that will take you to the next hole. As you can see, as we're progressing, it was giving you an update of how many tee shots John has used. There's a 2 in brackets there. Mike hasn't used any yet. Dave used 2. So if we do score again, 4 and 3, we'll give Mike and Tim 1 each, and you will see Mike and Tim have been updated. Now, you can see up here that the Golfies Legends started on a handicap of 8 and the Weekend Hackers were a handicap of 4. Now in match play, the lowest handicap goes back to 0. So that's 4 minus 4, and Golfies Legends 8 minus 4 equals 4. So the Golfies Legends actually have 4 shots. We're using the match play index. So in the rules if you need, but as you can see, 8th hole you play, you'll get a shot, 12th hole, index 2, 4th hole, index 3, and 16th hole that you play. So that's not hole 16, it's the 16th hole that you play. So if you start on 10, it's going to be different to hole 16. It's why it's important that you put the right starting hole in. And that's going to show you there that the Golfies Legends have a shot here. So if the score was 3 and 3, the Golfies Legends are going to win this hole. And as you can see, the match is now all square. Now, if you want to have a look at the scorecard, it's there for you to view. I mean, it's giving you the match score anyway, but if you want to have a quick look, this is the scorecard. Shows you the scores, 1 up, all square, 1 up, and it will also show you whose drive is used as the audit. So if you scroll down here, it's just out of the screen there, but down the bottom, we've got Tim and John, so they're their colors, and Dave and Mike are purple and blue. And these green dots on the left-hand side, that is where the Weekend Hackers get 1 shot on each of those holes. So back to the match. Okay, so I've just skipped ahead a little. You didn't need to see me score 10 holes, but I just wanted to show you what happens when someone max out on the tee shots. So you get 8 drives each, which means over 18 holes, there's 2 extra. So if someone can have 10 drives and the other person have 8. Now, we suggest probably best practice is try and keep it as even as possible, not to put pressure on the person who hasn't done the drives, but you can go ahead with, right, Mike's taken 10 of the first 12 drives, which means he's maxed out. You won't be able to click on it anymore, and only John can have the rest of the tee shots there. So just keep that in mind. If you see that max, that means Mike can't have any more, and John must use the rest of the tee shots, which puts a lot of pressure on John. And so I've skipped ahead again, and I just want to show you what will happen if the match is tied after 18 holes. This screen will pop up, all square after 18, and you have 2 options. If you can continue playing, you should, but we understand that sometimes due to the weather or the light, or you just can't get back on because the course is too filled, then you will have to stop the match there. This wording is going to change, but it'll say calculate scores or something, which means basically be a count back to find the winner. It starts with who won the most holes out of the last 9, who won the most holes out of the last 6, etc. So click that if you can't continue playing. If you can, go back and play more, just click start sudden death, and you will keep playing until one team wins 1 more hole, and then they'll be the winner. So I think that's it, guys. Please, with the scoring, let us know. We've built this ourselves. We are still making changes, improvements, and there may be bugs. So if there's anything that you see that you think is wrong, or you have an issue, please let us know. We'll get it fixed ASAP. We really hope you enjoy it, and all your feedback is welcome. So good luck. Please let us know how you go with the scoring, and we'll be in touch.